And yes, and it was like, yes, it was like, oh my goodness.
Hi. I just have a quick question for you
Sure,
guys.
yes.
I'm really concerned about child sexual abuse.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to one of my friends, so kind of really messed up her life. Very serious.
Yes,
Well, there's a lot in the news lately, especially about that Dr. Nasser and the
Oh.
gymnasts and things.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. And I noticed that, so I was kind of looking in some of the Watchtower publications on that topic, and I noticed that like over the decades, they've had the Catholic one so many times. Have you ever noticed that?
We'll see. Okay.
I gotta get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean just referencing that it's
Full
that
articles
it's happened.
about it, and they would use the media, the news, for proving it. You know, so they felt the news outlets were reliable to report on that, because how else would they know about it, right? Like say
Yeah,
CBS,
Right.
BBC, whatever.
Right.
And so there was about, I was like counting them up, and it seemed like they covered that like so thoroughly over and over. So there's about 25 Awake magazine articles about the Catholic Church sexual abuse, whether it was like investigations or money paid out or court cases and different things like that. They're analyzing their policies being, wrong, bad and wrong. And there was 6 in the Watchtower, so it would be like 30 something altogether. Now, when I look in the your website, the JW.org, I noticed there's nothing that I can find about the Jehovah's Witnesses sexual abuse scandals that have been going on recently. So I was just wondering, and these are things, court cases, investigations, money being paid out. Why do they report on the Catholic Church so much? If you just Google Jehovah's Witness sexual abuse, I mean, just pages and pages of stuff comes up. And it's not about like it being a random thing, which is everywhere. It's about the policies that enable it, that they've had and have told people not to call the police. In Australia, they had a list in their files over 1,000 pedophiles and didn't call the police on any of them. And so that's why they were investigated in Australia. So I'm just wondering why the double standard, why their own thing isn't, you can't find it on there. But the Catholic Church, they just pounded away at that. It just seems like a double standard to me.
Yeah,
like they're
I
kind
can
of
see
trying
that.
to hide it from you.
Yeah, and I'm not familiar. I've never heard of, that they're paying people. I mean, it's like we don't have a paid clergy, so it's like, how would they?
Well, the organization
what's
is
the-
worth billions of dollars just from the real estate they've been selling from Brooklyn, New York recently. They have tons of money. In California, they were paying, I forgot how much it was, $1,000 a day or a week or something like that, because they wouldn't give up information that they had to the authorities, because they were investigating some serial pedophile, and there was money already paid out on a couple of cases relating to that guy.
Yeah, that I have no knowledge of any of those sorts
And
of
I
things.
think maybe
and
that's why.
It doesn't sound. I would myself. I don't think that. I would like to know the sources of that information and how sound that.
Like the BBC, it was in Newsweek.com recently. And if the Australia has the whole thing on their website where you can read it, and Jeffrey Jackson was there testifying and acknowledged that it's a problem. So the way to look that up is Australia Royal Commission Case Study 29 was the investigation of the Jehovah's Witnesses. See, they investigated other groups, so they weren't just ganging up on them, but they have their official, a transcript where you can read everything. You can read what Jeffrey Jackson said. So I just find it curious that they go so much for the one and rely on media and then say, well, they have nothing on their own website. They have a legal section, a news section. And I think the people should know about it, you know? And because it's concerning. Like in Australia, they were talking about the two witness rule, that they don't follow up on the situation unless there was two witnesses to child molesting. So that's kind of why some people felt like it perpetuates it.
Right, right.
So,
well, one thing that I do appreciate about Jehovah's Witnesses is that, you know, they try to focus on what's a Bible precedent, what is how does it seem like the Bible is saying to handle it, but yet they are progressive and they will change their policies.
they said
like,
they won't.
As far as
They said they won't change the two witness rule.
you know, and
It's a crime. It's as though you found or heard about a murder at the Kingdom Hall, and you said, well, you know, here's the body, or one person. Wouldn't you call the police right away?
well,
It's that level of a crime. It's not a
one
church
thing that
matter.
I do know, because I have some friends who have some pretty, I mean, it was bad stuff, and it was not, you know, it was just normal child abuse that, you know, from various things. But
You
they've
mean
stayed.
non-sexual abuse. Is
Oh,
what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying, or
It was sexual
Oh,
abuse,
wow.
ritual stuff.
It makes me so sick.
It's like their
Where did
par-
that happen to them?
You know, Colorado and
Oh,
various
wow.
places. You know, I just happened to
Yeah.
find out about it, and it's like your heart just
Yeah, it
is
does.
sick.
I
Is
know.
sick for
I
it.
know.
And it's like they do have a lot of things to help them, and part of what I do know is that if someone is accused of something, they cannot be in a position where they get to be alone ever again with children as a elder or whatever. And so it's like I have a friend here in town who her husband was kind of dumb and had an affair with an underage teenager.
Oh, my
it was like
goodness.
she was like 17 and a half
Gross,
or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's like you don't know what's, you know, it's like I don't want to know all the details.
Right.
But it's like he cannot have any forever. It's like he cannot have any position where he has a position of trust,
Well,
what you might say.
that was some of the things investigated in some of these cases. They would differ with you on that a little bit. And in Australia, the Elder's Manual was presented as evidence. So now you can read that. It's public information now. So that's what they were concerned about, things they actually found in their instructions. So, yeah, I just wanted to share it because it's so concerning to me.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe check it out. I think there's even videos of it you can see. It's very interesting. Your Jeffrey Jackson had to be questioned there.
Right.
And you can see what he has to say about it. It's kind of surprising, a few of the things that he said. So, yeah, I hope you'll check it out. Thanks for being so
Sure.
friendly about it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I know you guys wouldn't advocate. I know it's not coming from the general person or anything, but the concern is the handling and policies and things like that.
Yeah,
if
and
it's really correct.
I think it's like
Cover-ups.
there, you know, I think what I try to look at as in life is that the reality is we are all imperfect people. And it's like there's going to be stuff that is like I don't, you know, there's even accounts in the Bible's like, I don't understand that. But I'm not in that culture, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I try to look at the whole picture
Yeah.
and say,
But they weren't so-
does the other things that they say, does that change that I believe that we are in the last days? Because it's like, yeah, I do. I see things that, you know, convince me that the other things that they're saying, the really important things that have to do with everybody getting relief from suffering, seem to be there. So it's like, if that kind of maybe helps, that I'm not unconcerned, but I
Right,
am
right.
trying to look and say, you know, I've got things that I'm suffering from health problems, and it's like, that's not going to get fixed because this isn't really
Right.
the environment that
Right.
that God is like, we have to kind of put up with some of the ick in the long run to get. And I don't know if that's not, I don't want to sound calloused. I'm just trying
Well,
to
if
say,
they would have been maybe as gracious to other groups, so that's kind of the problem there. And they have called themselves a spiritual paradise and things, and they say that everybody else is bad association and just things like that. So they make it seem like, you know, not that they're perfect, but they're very superior. You can read that in the publications. You get this kind of, you know, we're the only, you know, and we're the clean, keep the organization clean. But, well, you can just find out for yourself. So, yeah, thanks for talking.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
It's a beautiful day.
Yes.
Oh, it is.
I got to go outside today.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
While the going's good, before
Yes.
it changes to like 100,
Yeah,
right?
really.
Yes.
And then it'd be like, forget it.
Did you